Hey everybody, it's Tim from Phantom History House. I'm here with the wonderful Tiffany FitzPatrick. Tiffany, how are you?
Wonderful, but it's really early, Tim. How are you?
We're having this conversation early in the morning, but we hope that it's very helpful to you because Tiffany's going to be at Phantom History House on February 16 and 17 that weekend for some very special events. We want to make sure you know about them. We want to explain what they are. Specifically on Friday evening, Tiffany, you're going to be here for an evening of quantum healing and dimensional weaving, which
Yes,
is
sir.
basically just individualized healing and alignment in a group setting. But we're going to talk about what is that a little bit more. Plus, you're doing readings available for readings on Saturday, February 17th. So everybody go to phantomhistoryhouse.com, click on events, and you can see all the information there. So Tiffany, you're a great friend of the Phantom History House. You were here for our grand opening a year ago, a psychic medium. We're here to do readings. How are things going with you?
Wonderful. And honestly, I'm just so excited to come back to Phantom History House. I know I was just there last month and I've been gone too long, so it's time for me to get back.
Well, it's the 1 year anniversary of our grand opening. Of course, we had our first guest on New Year's Eve back a year ago. We celebrated
Hmm.
that anniversary with some more guests this past New Year's Eve. But we had our grand
Wonderful.
opening celebration, which you came down and were a part of in February last year. So we're sort of celebrating again with you coming down. So let's talk about this evening. We've had seances and group readings here at Phantom History House. This is a little bit different. We're calling it an evening of quantum healing and dimensional weaving. Tell us about this.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it directly. It's an individualized healing and alignment in a group setting. That's exactly what it is. So essentially, we have room. I think you said for about 20 people. So seating really is limited, but it's an opportunity for everyone to get the healing or the alignment or both that they need in that time frame, customized to what they're needing in that moment for their highest good in a group setting. So you can see essentially how it works for other people in the group and get your own individual's time as well. And so quantum healing and dimensional weaving are beautiful, flowery terms for what's happening really through the veil and trying to bring that into an impactful way in the physical setting.
Okay, so I love the idea. Like, I know when we've had seances and group readings before, people are often really moved by the message that someone else gets, right? And what it means for their life. And you can see them be emotional about that and how that impacts them. I think people love that experience. That seems like what you're talking about here with a little bit of a different bend to it. So let's start with quantum healing. Like, can you define that term for anybody that might not really understand that?
Yeah, absolutely. So quantum healing is essentially it's healing on an energetic level, on a quantum level. So we're talking about healing. We have different types of bodies. So we have a physical body, which is usually what you go to the doctor for. We have an emotional body, but also we have energetic bodies, and we're energetic beings in a physical body. And so it essentially doubles up on what you're doing for your physical body, for your physical healing, but it hits you on a an energetic level through the veil, essentially, be it through the unseen. And it hits you on a quantum level, which is actually subparticle. So we've heard about atoms. We've studied that in school. So essentially, it's bringing spirituality and science into the same uh, arena and allowing that energetic healing to not only hit us around us, but also on a subparticle level. So it's allowing that healing to get really into the skin, if you will, into the cellular structure to try and heal on a deeper level and it help your own personal healing speed up and be more impactful and last longer.
So when I think about the term quantum healing, I think of Deepak Chopra, who
Yeah.
I think is very famous for discussing this from a very scientific place. I've seen him live in speaking. I've read some of his books, and so I sort of understand that idea. It's sort of at a
Hmm.
cellular. Whoa, it's early, everybody. When I'm trying to talk cellular level, like you can. That's really exciting to me. That you can sort of affect your life at that level, and how that
Hmm.
would the impact that would have.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, you'll see from research and from testimonials that people have when they've tapped into quantum healing that it has a deeper impact. The healing is faster and it lasts longer, and it heals you on levels where maybe you didn't even realize that there needed to be healing. Because a lot of times when we're working with healing on the physical level, it's really only skin deep. And really only organ deep sometimes. And so cellular healing comes down to literally the cells, the quantum cells, and it allows for a deeper impact. And it, because it's talking quantum to quantum, cell to cell, it's spreading throughout the entire body and the physical body and the energetic body. And so I am actually Reiki certified. I'm a Reiki certified master, but that's one tool in my toolbox to also play into my energetic healing and my quantum healing. So it's a full rounded energetic experience that you can feel even hours after you've left the session.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And I'm very new to this world of sort of psychic mediums and this. I mean, I've done a lot of study on spirituality, that kind of things. But the way that psychic mediums tend to work has been new to me. But what's so interesting is when I'm sitting here hearing you talk about that, I'm sitting here thinking, well, that makes perfect sense because we already know that a psychic medium is sort of working on another level, right? And
Mhm.
so you're just talking about getting into another level in your healing. That's really exciting. So dimensional
Thank you.
weaving, that's a term I've never heard before. So I'm anxious to hear you explain that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So honestly, so I am a psychic medium, but I'm also an eclectic witch. I've been a practicing eclectic witch for 23 plus years. So I utilize both of those skills when I'm working beyond the veil, when I'm working through the unseen, through other dimensions. And so dimensional weaving was really the term that I coined to try and encompass all of the various things that I do beyond the veil. And that incorporates, because I'm working on other dimensions and I'm working through the veil, I'm already working on different dimensions just right there. When a psychic medium looks through the veil, they're looking at a different dimension. When a tarot reader reads virtually, they're reading through a different dimension in order to reach you across the world or across the country, etc. So we're already looking at different dimensions. We're familiar with the third dimension because it's physical, it's right here, but there are so many other dimensions that we can tap into, and other planes, and it really starts to get very complicated. And so with dimensional weaving, what I was trying to do was really try and culminate that down to one phrase that encompasses some higher concepts, some higher magic, some meta magical concepts. And that includes timeline shifting, that includes the quantum healing, that includes, helping to introduce people to their spirit guides, tapping into past life messages, chakra alignment, and Reiki healing. That also includes contract editing. So one of my gifts is being able to see soul contracts and edit those to match what people are desiring within their life at this time, and also helping them to shift timelines in order to bring that about. So it's a lot of kind of various uh, complicated concepts, but trying to bring that into an arena where it's accessible to those that maybe aren't practicing higher magics. And that's what I want to do, is to really bring that down to where it's more accessible to people that aren't tapping into their own higher concepts.
Right. So we're talking about the event on Friday, February 16th here at Phantom History House, where Tiffany's going to be here. She's coming into town, going to be here for that whole weekend, doing readings on Saturday. Actually some readings the whole weekend. I'm going to talk about that because if you book a room at Phantom History House, Tiffany has offered a free 30-minute session sometime over the weekend with you. So there's hopefully an incentive for you to want to stay with us as well. And of course, we'll pamper you and treat you really well.
Oh, yeah.
But I love we're talking about on Friday night. Individualized healing and alignment in a group setting. So we're talking about doing this dimensional weaving. Makes sense. You're sort of pulling all these things together, like weaving a tapestry, if I may. It's very interesting. Yeah. And it's so interesting that you're going to share that and that people can have that experience in a group setting. So here's my question. I think people love the seances. They love the group readings we've done. This is a little bit different. If I'm sitting there and you're going to help me heal something and align something, are you going to be like airing all my dirty laundry? Are you going to be telling everybody all my bad stuff? Because that would make me uncomfortable, perhaps.
You're right. That would make you uncomfortable. That would make me uncomfortable as the person airing the dirty laundry. But no, it's not like that at all. I promise not to air your dirty laundry. No. So as I'm envisioning it, to try and help other people visualize it as well, is essentially at the start of the session, everyone will draw one particular tarot card from a deck that I bring with me. to culminate and concentrate the energy of what they're wanting to focus on in that time. If they're not familiar with, like, I don't even know what I want, I just want to be a part of it, that's okay too, because your higher self will do that work for you. So your higher self will come in and help guide you to the right card, so that I can then receive that message from your higher self of what is it that we're working on today. So Tim, sitting with you, like, I'm depending on what you're wanting, I might do some coding, some timeline shifting, some healing, but then maybe sitting with Steve next to you, it may be different. It might be he needs a message from a spirit guide. He needs a message through the veil. Maybe he needs a different form of healing. And so it'll be customized to each person based on what they or their higher self is asking for at that time. And the great thing is, which I love so much about doing this work, is that it's not just oh, this is a fun memory, like right now. It's something that will impact you moving forward for months, years, if you let it. It's essentially like a jump start to the next level, a jump start to the next chapter, a jump start to your next goal, etc. And that healing continues to last, but also the shifted trajectory, the dimensional healing that we're talking about, can impact you, and you can literally ride that wave like a luck train, they call that a lucky steamroll. That's what you can do. So that's essentially what we're doing, is we're putting you in a position where you can ride that out to your heart's content.
Okay, this is so exciting. I have to tell you, I think I'm not alone in the fact that at the beginning of the year, I do a lot of thinking about my life and where have I been and looking back. I think that that's a really
Same.
good thing in our culture, that we sort of take this moment to take stock and think and, am I where I wanted to be, and what do I need to do different? I don't know about making resolutions, because I think those sort of tend to be broken. They have that connotation. So I create goals and I do a lot of sort of
Mm-hmm.
self-reflection, right? So I feel
Same.
like this is so well timed, because if I'm doing that thinking now at the beginning of the year, where do I really want to go? How's my life going? What are the things that aren't working for me that I want to heal in my life? Then the idea that then here on February 16th, when you're at Phantom History House, right here in the beginning of the year, you could help me jumpstart that, help me find some ideas, because that's sort of what psychic mediums tend to do anyway, is give us
So
a
try.
different way of looking
Yeah.
at something. I hate to speak for you, but my impression is, a new idea, or clarification, encouragement, those kind of things. So I love the idea. Now, we were talking about individualized healing and alignment. Now I understand that from what you just said. Each
Thanks.
person gets the message they need for their own personal healing and growth. The evening is called an evening of quantum healing and dimensional weaving. Tiffany, I think this is going to be really great. Everybody go to Phantom History website, phantomhistory.com, click on events. You'll see right there on February 16th, Tiffany's picture and information about how you sign up. It's only $25 for this hour and a half session. I think that is a bargain. If people are paying millions of dollars for therapy sessions and all kinds of things, which are all great too. But here's another tool that you're bringing, and we love that we get to share that here at Phantom History House.
Yeah, I'm really excited to bring this to Phantom History House and to bring it to a level that's accessible for a lot of people, because it is, like you said, like, there are people that pay thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars for personal coaching, and this is exactly what you're getting. But it's not just on a cognitive, intellectual, physical level. It's also affecting the subconscious, it's affecting the cells, it's affecting your timeline, your soul contract, everything. And I love that I get to kind of help people tap into that for themselves. Also, I think it's important to note that I'm not expecting anything from the participants, from our guests. You don't have to, like, know how to do certain things. You don't have to, this isn't a do it yourself situation. This is you receiving focused attention from a psychic medium and a dimensional weaver in a group setting. So you don't have to do anything other than pick a card and let either yourself or your higher self decide what you need in that moment. And that's how it'll roll. So totally no pressure. And it's just a great experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we sort of mentioned earlier, whenever I've been in a group setting and somebody else gets a message or some advice, a lot of times I get something out of that too, right? So I can imagine that everybody that you talk to in this group setting that we're going to have that evening, by the way, everybody, only 20 seats available. Those tickets are going to disappear. So go onto the website and reserve your spot. I feel like I'm going to learn something from a lot of the messages that other people get, in addition to whatever is personal to me. I know that people, as I mentioned, that when we've had seances and other readings here in a group setting, people are often really impacted by seeing someone else get a message that means a lot to them. And that makes me think, oh, wow, that's a message I can use too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one reason I wanted to bring this to a group setting, because of course I do this work in an individual setting as well. And it's, much more focused, much more in depth long term. But in a group setting, what I love is that as I'm providing maybe you a message, Tim, someone else in the group can, in their mind, can be like, oh, I like that message. I hadn't thought about that goal for myself. I think I'll add that to my want list. I think I'll add that to my bucket list. And you can do that. So setting that intention either verbally or even just telepathically in your mind of, oh, Tim is wanting this, I want this too, and I didn't think about it. Is it too late to add to my basket? No, it's not. Add to cart. Just say I received that too, thank you. Like, add to cart. Absolutely. And so I love that in a group setting everybody can kind of like, they start to realize that they can ask for more than they thought that they could. And especially when they see other people receiving things that they didn't even know they could ask for, it starts to shift their own mindset of, oh, I didn't even know I could ask for more. And I love that concept because, yes, ask for more. Ask for the most outrageous, dream big, absolutely dream big. Because, the universe, spirit, whoever is the one that's footing the bill and they don't mind. They got a big pocketbook. So dream big.
So the weekend of February 15, 16, 17, 18, Tiffany's going to be here at Phantom History House. She has individual readings available on Saturday. There's this group event, this group reading event on Friday night. Listen, we would love for you to stay with us at Phantom History House. Let us pamper you, get away from the world, turn it off, have a little restful getaway right here after Valentine's Day, and come stay with us. And if you book a room, we give you one free 30-minute session reading with Tiffany. Tiffany, that's so lovely of you to offer that because you're going to be here. So listen, everybody, here's what I would do if I were you. I would book a room for a couple nights, come to the Friday night thing, get a reading on Saturday, maybe get another reading on Sunday, or one of you or your partner or wife or whatever. Come spend a little time away, stay with us, have a great getaway. Tiffany, we're so excited you're going to be here. Everybody go to phantomhistory.com, click on events. You'll see both the events, the Friday night evening of quantum healing and dimensional weaving with Tiffany, and then her readings on Saturday. Tiffany, we're so excited to have you coming. Anything else you want to say?
Don't miss this opportunity. This is a live event, an in-person event in a group setting, to where even if you're just curious about some of these concepts, what is soul rewriting, soul contract rewriting, what is timeline shifting, what is coding, what is weaving, what is all this? This is your opportunity to ask those questions to a psychic medium and an eclectic witch with decades of experience, so that you can ask these questions, you can see it live yourself, you can have a conversation with me, you can experience it yourself. So whether you know that you need this for yourself, or you're just kind of curious, or if you're curious about the concepts, don't miss this opportunity. I would love to meet you, and there's a reason that you're seeing this.
Oh, that's awesome. And of course, we love all the psychic mediums that work with us here, that are here regularly or nearby. But the fact that you're coming in sort of from usually about once a year, we get to see you here live, maybe a couple times if we can make that work. So everybody, it's rare to have Tiffany here. Take advantage of this opportunity. Go to phantomhistory.com, click on events, or go to phantomhistory.com/events. And you can see all the information. Tiffany, it's wonderful to talk with you today. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Thanks for having me. It's been a blast as always.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you watching. Share this with somebody that you know could use this information. Really